What's going on, bro? Welcome back to another video. My name is the Grad Hacker and I help average graduates get onto high paying grad schemes. In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 tricks to pass the Graduate Assessment Center. This video is going to be useful because I know the assessment center is one of the hardest parts of the graduate hiring process. So you want to make sure you watch this video all the way till the end and get this right. Make sure you prepare with these things in mind and hopefully you can smash that assessment center. So 3 big takeaways I want to share with you. This is all based off of my 4 years of experience, 4 years of trial and error trying to get onto graduate schemes, and yeah, this is going to help you. I'm currently on the graduate scheme of my choice in tech consulting, but it took me 3 long years to figure out what's what and what is the best practice to use. So let's get into it. Number 1, remember the 3 C's when you're in the group task. Remember the 3 C's, okay? Clarity, conviction, conciseness. I'm going to repeat that again. Clarity, conviction, conciseness. Let me explain these 3 things. When you are in the assessment center, you're going to have something called a group task. The group task is one of the most challenging aspects of the assessment center, but when you are in the group task, you want to remember these 3 C's because they're going to help you go a long way in making sure that you're getting the right marks. The markers and the hiring managers can actually see you, you're visible, and they can also mark you in a good way. So what do these 3 C's mean? Well, basically, when you're making your points, when you're talking or interacting with others in the group task, you need to be concise, which means you need to keep your lines or what you say short and snappy. Get to the point, basically. So concise. You also need to speak with conviction. So what that means is when you're saying something or making a point or elaborating on your opinion, you need to make sure that you sound like you believe it, right? Don't sound as though you're kind of half-assing it. When you're making a point, speak with conviction, like you own that point, like you're very, very sure about that point, even if you're not. And what's the last one? Conciseness, conviction, clarity. You need to speak with clarity, which means that when you communicate your points, you need to be clear and you need to not use like filler words and stuff. You basically just need to sound clear so other people can understand what you're saying. All right. So those are the 3 C's. Remember those. Now, it's easier said than done. These 3 C's is really easy just to remember in your mind, but when you're in the group task itself, you can mumble jumble over your words. You can not make sense sometimes. You can go off on tangents. You can spend too long, trying to explain yourself. These things are all normal. It all comes with time. It all comes with practice. So just keep that in mind. Don't be too hard on yourself. But remember, these are the golden 3 C's that they are looking for. Someone who speaks with conviction, someone who is concise, and someone who speaks with clarity. That is really, really going to put you up there when it comes to marking you when the assessors are looking at you. Because if you can make your points with those 3 golden C's, you are going to be in a very, very good position. So like I said, comes with time, comes with practice. So practice with others, practice with your peers if you can. Go to some practice. Obviously, the more assessment centers you do, the quicker and better you're going to get at this. But yeah, that's the first takeaway I want you to keep in mind when it comes to the Graduate Assessment Center. The next one is it's basically just another point regarding the group task. Okay, so in many assessment centers, they are going to get you to do a group activity with other people in the group. This activity can be something simple like building a Lego bridge. It can be something like writing down a list of items that you would take. Write down the top 5 items that you would take from a list of 30 if you were in a plane crash and you could only take 5 things out of the 30 items that you would have here. Which 5 would it be? And you work with the group to kind of figure those out, come up with a conclusive list. It'll be tasks like that. Now, in those tasks, you could completely fail the actual ask of the task. So as an example, I did a graduate assessment center, one of the first ones that I did, and the task that they got us to do was to build a Lego bridge. So there was 2 teams. One was the team that I was in. There was another team. We both teams built a Lego bridge, and I was actually broke, right? So we didn't build the bridge in a correct way. right? But because there were people in the team that were doing really well in terms of their individual performance. So as an example, this is the feedback that I got. Even though our bridge failed, I was motivating the team. The bridge failed right at the last second, and I said to the team, like, guys, it's okay. Let's figure this out. We could rebuild it. We have a couple of minutes left. We could try and rebuild it. I was including everybody into the team. I was bringing people in that weren't talking as well. You know, when the bridge broke, everybody was like, oh, okay, shit. Like, we kind of failed the task. And I was there like, guys, no, it's fine. Yes, we haven't got much time left, but we can still try and do as much as we can to rebuild the bridge. And then we have something to show. It's okay. Keep the motivation. That got me through the assessment center, and I actually passed that assessment center. And they told me that even though you guys failed the task, you in particular performed really well as an individual, because you were motivating the team. You were telling them it's okay, let's keep going. So this is just a second point that to keep in mind is you could bomb the task. Basically, you could fail what they've asked you to do. You could actually fail at that. But as long as you perform well in the team, if you don't get stuff done in time, that's absolutely fine. As long as you give your best performance, sometimes that's enough for them to see that you are a winner. So that's the next point I want you to keep in mind is don't give up. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. If you feel as though that the task has gone wrong or you failed at the task, do not give up and just leave it there, because I've done this before and you're just leaving things on the table. You can keep going. Like, just make the best of the situation that you have. Like I said, we could have just given up when the bridge failed, right? When the bridge broke down, the Lego bridge broke down, it didn't work. We could have just failed and said, right, okay, we've kind of like fucked this up. But I still tried to motivate the team. I still kept them going. And it was actually quite good, because the others then clicked on, hang on, actually, yeah, I know what he's doing. He's trying to motivate us and keep going because he's trying to score marks. So they actually jumped in as well, and they said, yeah, that's it. Let's keep going, man. It's all right. Let's pick the bridge up. Let's try and figure it out. Let's give it another go. So I'm assuming one of or two of those people as well would have got through to from the assessment center. They would have passed it as well, just because of the attitude that they brought to the table. So very, very important. First point is the 3 golden C's. Second point is do not give up even if you fail. If you think you failed the group task, because there still might be a lot of things that you can do to recoup those marks. Okay. The third one is to do a lot of research, sniper research, I like to call it. I want to share with you a story, right? So when I was going for the this current assessment center that I'm on the graduate scheme now, but there was another graduate scheme that I applied to, and I got through to that as well. It was in consulting. That one, basically what they did was the assessments in the assessment center, it was online, right? It was a virtual assessment center because it was through COVID times. So what they did was they sent out a list of people that they were going to pair you with. So basically they sent out an Excel sheet and they said, look, in the assessment center, you're going to be put in pairs and you're going to do a case study exercise, basically. And I don't know for what reason, but sometimes they do this, right? So just keep an eye out. Do your sniper research. This is why I'm sharing it with you. In that Excel sheet, they had written down the pairs. So they had written my name and somebody else's name. You're going to be a pair. Then all the rest of the pairs, right? What that allowed me to do is look at all those names and just basically like search them up on LinkedIn. That's what I did. I searched them up on LinkedIn. I put all those names in, especially the partner that I was going to be with, because I wanted to make sure that I shine as bright as I can in that cohort, and I wanted to see what my competition was. So I literally took all those names. I went onto LinkedIn. I didn't add them or anything. I just checked their profiles. I wanted to see what kind of background these people come from. I wanted to see what my competition was, because here's the thing, when you do sniper research like that, you can then see who you're competing with, right? So if you're competing with people who are very inexperienced, don't have a lot of experience, come from sort of limited backgrounds within that industry, then you know that you can excel a lot. Like you'll have a good chance. If you are like, if you search it up and you see that people are coming in with all sorts of experience, then you know you need to improve yourself as much as you can. You really need to practice and go out of your way to make yourself known in that environment, because you're competing with the best of the best, right? So it shouldn't be used as an end all be all. Obviously things change. A lot of people don't have LinkedIn profiles, for example, and LinkedIn profile isn't going to give you the full picture of what that person is like, right? It could be like a shitty LinkedIn profile with like nothing on it, but that person could actually be very, very good. Like he comes in, knows the golden 3 C's, knows exactly what they're doing. So it's not an end all be all. It's not like a hard science, but just another thing to keep in mind, which may help you with your assessment center. So most of the times you're not going to have information like this given to you, but if you do, check those names out, go and do as much research as you can. Obviously, you know, don't stalk those people, but just see what their backgrounds are, right? And see what kind of backgrounds and industries that they come from, and it gives you a good gauge of who the people are that you're going to be sort of competing with. All right, so those are my 3 takeaways. Remember the 3 golden C's. Yeah. Remember to not give up even if you fail at the group task, and remember to do sniper research. Okay, that's not just research on people, but also on the company and the assessment center as a whole as well. The more research you do, the better your chances of passing the graduate assessment center. Now, if you need help with any of this, I do have a premium course which I go through in depth every section, every bit, every step of the graduate hiring process, interviews, tests, assessment centers, everything that you could ever need to know. This is all based off of my 4 years of experience getting multiple graduate schemes in the last year of applying, and there's a lot of things that I did different, and I share those with you in this course. It's linked in the description below if you need help with that. And with that being said, I'll see you in there. Take care. Bye bye.